Hello and welcome to the Dogs Academy news station. I'm your host, coming live from the Year 5 newsroom, Miss Conway. I'm here to tell you today about a devastating natural disaster that rocked the coast of the USA in 2005, the one and only Hurricane Katrina. Now, scientists are concerned that this hurricane in particular was quite so devastating because of the effects of global warming, but we'll explore that later. Let's find out what happened first. So, the hurricane occurred on the 29th of August 2005 and was one of the most expensive natural disasters in the US's history. It was the worst hurricane of the 2005 season as well. Now, a hurricane is a giant tropical storm that gains high winds that are devastating to both human life and property if they make it to land, and they do often do so, as was the case with Hurricane Katrina. Now, hurricanes you may also know as typhoons or cyclones. However, when they happen in the region that they did in America, they are known as hurricanes, so shall be referred to as such. Okay. Now, the hurricane was formed in the Bahamas and gained strength in the Gulf of Mexico, and then eventually moved onto the land, causing mass devastation. In total, it affected 90,000 square miles, and the winds that it carried were measured at 175 miles per hour, a shocking speed for winds to reach. We know hurricanes cause flooding, high wind speeds, and as a result, 1,800 people died from this devastating disaster. Hundreds were forced to relocate and had to move to new cities. And New Orleans, a place in America, was particularly affected, with 80% of the city flooded and 900,000 people without electricity due to the effects of the flooding. Luckily for us and for the USA and for the rest of the world in general, because it's wonderful news to hear, 60 different countries pledged to help. One country even pledged $500 million in response to the devastating hurricane that caused mass devastation to land, to human life, and people could not go about their normal lives until something was done. So that money helped to rebuild the cities that were affected and get people back to a normal way of living. Now, as was said before, we know that global warming could have played a part in how this terrible disaster affected so many and so much. Now, we know that hurricanes are made up of tropical storms that originate in the sea and they gather high winds. And the fact that the carbon dioxide in the air is heating the earth means that it's also heating the sea. And with that, we get stronger winds that are created with those higher temperature sea levels. As well as that, the sea levels themselves are rising as the ice caps are melting, which again adds to the intensity of the storm, something we really do not want to be happening. So we must cut back and make sure that we stop global warming. And finally, there are more areas now being affected by hurricanes. Hurricanes only happen in warmer countries, and because of global warming, the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn are slightly expanding. Therefore, more countries will be affected and more areas will be affected by these devastating storms. However, we can do our bit as news reporters to spread the word and educate people about these awful disasters that could be exacerbated, that's right, made worse by global warming. So my challenge to you, Year 5, is to find a natural disaster and educate the world by informing them about what happened, where it happened, why it happened, and how global warming might have made it that bit worse. So off you go, news reporters. I can't wait to hear your reports very soon. Miss Conway from Dilks Academy Year 5 newsroom, signing out.